Check. All right, audio check, check, check. Here we are, back at it another night. Let's see here. Trying to figure out what's got this mic on, and I don't know. Is that the one? Yeah, that could be it. Let's see here. Just checking my mic settings. Is the Jeff the Shark scene. Let's see. Eddie, Mike, microphone, settings. Let's see, best pattern. The heart shape. Okay, that's the one I want. The heart shape. Ah, okay. Boop. Boop. There's the heart shape. My eyes do not see that well at all. But okay, that should be good. Let's see how that is. Heart shape. Heart shape. All right. Well, it looks like it's a little quieter than usual. Huh. I wonder. All right. Well, yeah, let's see how this goes. This could be okay. So there was something I wanted to do today with Jeff the Shark because I noticed I was doing some stuff. I was just drawing it kind of from memory earlier to play around. And I noticed something I was doing that it's kind of cool. I made him look like a mini version of himself. Some stuff I need to make sure that I get in. I just want to draw him well before I go drawing him for real. So, however that goes, yeah, I would like to. Make sure that's off. All right, cool, cool, cool. So I just want to make sure I got his proportions right. Like I just drew him right here, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't give him, I didn't separate his body from his head. So he's got this thing going on where he's got these two main shapes, and then a cone shape that comes out, and then his tail or whatever. So I want to make sure I am. This is a great chance. Like I'm pretty good with it with human figures, but when it comes to like um, sort of critters or whatever, it's something I definitely got to work on. And I like they didn't care in this design. I like that design right there, but that's kind of super stylized. I like that they put the fin up higher on his head because you can see it longer, but a real shark, I get it. It's in the middle of his back. That's cute right there, that one. I think that's the same person, but super simplified version of Jeff. Um, oh, see, I didn't never notice she has a Jeff the Shark backpack. Pretty cool. It's always Jeff the Shark, I guess. Or is it? I don't know. Seems to be. It's kind of neat though. Yeah, it's not always okay. Good. Just in the maybe in the fun comics or something. I wonder if I can copy and can I? Um, all right, file. Let's do new. We're gonna do a new one, and we're gonna call this one save as new 14. So I try to name it according to whatever YouTube video I'm on or whatever. Oh, good, that worked. I'm just gonna blow it up a little bit. So, yeah. So the way that I was going to, I just kind of wanted to test this out was So if you've seen any of my other videos, I like to take a big fat, um, normally I take a square marker or whatever. I don't know that I actually have one made permanently. Oh yeah, main drawing square. There you go. So I have this, and normally when I do figures, I do, um, sometimes I'll do these things where like that's the top half of a figure, and then from there to there. So from here to here and here to here should be about equal distance. Generally overlaps a little bit, but just for sake of simplicity, um, yeah, you can simplify that. But so you bring that down here, and then you can kind of make figures this way. Um, and it's a good way just to do rough proportions, and you can actually get away with a lot. um, Going to like draw something or whatever, going to paint, you can get away with quite a bit. So anyway, I was kind of thinking about that. I was like, I wonder if that sort of thing, so it gives you something to visualize when you actually go to draw something. So I wanted to mess with that with Jeff the Shark. Take that down for now and just find how many, like, is this, if I draw a square, how many squares is he? Will that work? Will this method work? I don't know. The pen is rotating as I do stuff. So maybe that's not the best way to start out. I might need to start out with a lasso. So all those videos I do, they're just, a lot of times I'm just going to be experimenting. And that's the deal. Like, some nights will be better than others. And that's kind of how I want it. So we, um, okay, that, and then I don't know that this is gonna work so well with. What's the best way? So I'm picturing this whole volume of his body, and I need to find a way to make that consistent. So a square isn't going to cut it for that. So let's see what will. Like that. That's the size of him. And then, no, that's not going to work either. So I'm going to have to find a way. I wonder how close these two rectangles are to each other. So if I was to scale this one up, man, they're really, really close. So I can almost say that those two rectangles, the rest of it's easy from there. So those are the main ones I need. So I wonder, let's find out. Let's take this guy. And this is how I've got all kinds of ways to learn how to draw stuff. And normally I draw it myself, but like the other characters a lot easier when they're human to me, just because for whatever reason I know been drawing them so much I know. I don't know, they have a set of proportions that are reliable. Um, Animals, there's so many different animals, and the proportions are always changing on them. So right now I'm just trying to see what the width of each What's the difference there? So let's do this. I'm gonna kill this one and this one. I'm gonna duplicate this one again. So I don't need this. Oh. Alright, so I'm gonna duplicate this one. Do that, and then let's scale that. And so that way they keep the same relationship. Alright, so that's good. So the difference between the two is let's do this. Here and here. And let's see, the difference between the two would be something like this one. Yeah, so halfway is about here. About there. Yeah, all right, it's better. And another half. Just put that there so I have visual. Another half. So it's almost like this is a quarter and then another. What would that be? Half. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, it's an eighth the size. So not much smaller than the body, but the body is definitely bigger. The best way. So that's cool. So that might not be reliable um, as far as like being able to do that same method of proportions as I do for the figure, but I can at least get a better idea of where I need to be. This thing also keep it the same height, so it's going to come in a little bit. A square doesn't work. A square would be about there. It's a little bit bigger than a square wide. All right, so enter. So if I made this one into a square over here, let's see. I'm just trying to find a way. That was a square and that was a square there. Yes, just adding a little bit more to it. That's the proportional difference. And then this one, let's see. Let's see, the proportional distance is B. Just gotta shave off like a tiny little bit for the front. Okay. All right, so that's good. That's good. Getting somewhere. So just to be sure here, draw a rectangle. It's a little bit bigger than the square. And then draw another one that same size, a little bit bigger than that one. And I'll end up with that. So now I know like I need to fit this shape, and this continues on. And then you have this shape down here, which gets fatter. This will be kind of like that. So that's what I was trying to gain out of all that. And then I know that the feet only come down on his body like that far. They don't break the silhouette of the body that much. So it's kind of like a tadpole or something. Like I keep drawing that too. So I need to draw that at an angle more and then make that that. Maybe. More of a pure rectangle off the end there. And then that's bigger, smaller, and big dorsal fin again. And then maybe that. Yeah, so that's cool. And then draw that into a square. The eyes fit something like that. And the mouth comes close to the eyes every time. And then I've got plenty of room for that collar, and then I can get the legs in there. So that's cool. All right. I need a little bit of negative space there. I really hate that they made those. I wonder what happened if you made. I kind of just want to make the legs like that. Looks kind of stupid that they made them. Well, maybe not though. Shouldn't say stupid, but I don't know. It kind of works. Just a preference thing, I suppose. But I do like the design's pretty awesome. And then I also like, yeah, I like everything about the guy's design. Design's awesome. All right, so that's all good. I just need to be able to get his head fatter. I'm not getting his head fat enough, so um, one thing I've always liked to do is draw over things to get used to that. And then I like to draw over things to get used to drawing them. Just trace, I guess, if you will, but keep doing it till I kind of can feel all of the shapes and make my hand and brain work together to do that thing. So yeah, so I want to be able to, what's the best way to do this? Should I draw that and then add all this? That's kind of cool. That makes it a little bit better. And then, yeah, there's so much stuff there. And then smile. So that's not bad. And then have the nose there. Yeah, kind of like that. That was a good way. And then know that I have, what are the different ways that you could do this? What happens if you draw that? Not a smile. And then what if it's some other kind of just, yeah, that's another thing that I would personally like to do is make his teeth taper off a bit more. I don't have any reason for that other than I like what the dude did too, like on these makes the teeth come out and the bottom teeth are like they're facing you to make it feel like they're aiming out the mouth that way. So it's kind of cool. That's a kind of a neat thing to try to get used to drawing. I think I counted yesterday and they had like 5 teeth on the side. 3, 4, 5. Might be a little more, but whatever. That's how many I'm gonna draw, and then the mouth in there, and then that. So just need a reliable way to do that every time. And I think this is my baseline. So that kind of shape for that. So what happens if we put the shark fin up there? Doesn't seem very balanced, does it? If we move it up here though. I feel like that seems a little bit more balanced, make it a little bigger. Yeah, so you just gotta make room for that collar right there. Let's put that in better perspective as well. And just to keep things simple for now, a little bit of a platform coming off of each of those. I see, like, that's not really how that would be. Like, that would be more that. I'm thinking if I drew around that, this is here, this is coming here. So if I drew that same oval from the back of his legs, like where they're meeting, where these leg right here meets right here. I want to find out where that is. I need to draw a similar oval. It goes around the body and that. So whoops, sort of thing. So we can find out here to here, and then that seems like too much for that one, doesn't it? Can't be it. So this one will be here. Maybe a little bit more space to it, it'd be about there. So or something like that. So it would definitely be behind that leg. That was my whole point. So yeah, and this is pretty easy enough. I feel like I can't make something my own until I know how uh, find a better drawing that I like. Somebody who's drawn them well. Like I really like this design, but if I want to do my own drawings of it, I've got to know this the best. I've got to know this well. So I guess that's kind of the idea behind what I'm feeling. So yeah, and then let's see how that works out. So we still have like our rectangle here, and then gets a little bigger here, but it stays the same kind of proportion, which is fine. And then we have this football shaped head. And I think I want to keep drawing it that way, but I need to make it more round. We have a circle, and it has circle, and then it needs to be a little bit wider than a circle. So if I took a circle, somebody asked, I had a friend ask once, like, why does everybody draw a circle? And he didn't need to. He was really good no matter what. So I was like, whatever, Mr. Special Pants. But for me, I don't draw. No, that guy draws every day for his work. And, I get it. It's cool. if you don't need it, but I need something more reliable. It's like, well, I need something to compare, like how far outside do I need to be going, and where do the eyes fall? So like a third of the way down on that circle. Like so, I widen the circle to make a football, and I know I've got to widen it by that much and that much, respectively, right? So then I got my eyes are a third of the way up, and that's running through the middle of them still. And the eyes are shaped like that. So that yesterday. So I'm just keeping drawing them today, and then I like how, you know, I tend to get too narrow on things. Like when I see something's narrow, I'm like, okay, make it narrow. But like even now, like god dang it, like that's not enough head. Like it needs more. It needs to be down a little bit more, even than what I'm drawing it. So I'm not giving him enough of a melon. So I think what I need to do is I really need to picture that collar coming down every time until I can get that. You know, is even that enough? I don't know. Maybe I should just start making them fat. I think. Jeff the land chart. That land chart. And that's actually a good way that they solved it was making it like that. But I still don't like how I just don't like how not giving him enough space or something. It's really strange. And then yeah, like God, why can I not give that enough space? That's crazy. Just need to do it. Give it. Give him some more space there, buddy. Needs to be about that wide. And it starts out a little smaller. And then that's there. Here. And then we have this guy here. Is that all right? I don't know. They don't draw too many pictures of him where he's, well, right there he's got, his head shrunk a lot right here. It's not the same proportions anymore. That is curious. What I really got to do is load the game up and get some screen caps of him. Old Jeff. And see what they're doing, because when he gets his big old head and doesn't have his mouth open, it looks a little strange. Quite honestly. It's really important to color his eyes in, I think, because he doesn't look like him at all without that. But that really doesn't look like the shark to me. See, I think I'm drawing his eyes too close to his mouth there now. Now I'm running into a different problem. So I need to be up a little bit more. There we go. Let's color those things. Because I need to be able to have space to draw the cool white shape of the great white thing. And that those little dots really help. Yeah. Yeah, it feels a lot more like him, I think. Yeah, this there. See, like, what happens if you really need to make sure you have that going on, and then maybe the cheeks a little higher. But that's getting better, for sure. And then he's got some lightning bolt shapes that I'm not tinkering with the details yet. That's kind of silly to do. But yeah, it'll get better for sure. And then let's see if we can draw. How's this going here? Need to make sure getting the collar in and then drawing that shape there. And then draw him like a fish. So I like draw him like a mammal, then like a fish. Draw him the same way. I go back. I like the idea of making it a little bit of a sharp tip, and then so it goes like that, and then that, and then on this one, like on the front one, he had the shape juxtaposition was really nice. Where this feels more like a more triangular. Cool. It needs to come a little wider. It still does bows out, but it doesn't feel soft. It feels sharper there. And then I'm gonna just for me, I'm gonna do this spin. Just because I don't. I like it like that. I think kind of like that angle right here works pretty nice. So do that. Works. And then do that again. Do that again. And let's make sure that that's fat enough like that. And then stuff this comes over here. Goes here. Still want to have a little bit of a and this one. It's going to be more back there. And then here. That's the one thing I'm not putting on him either. I need to put the 3. That'll help a lot. Okay. This was a really good one too. But again, like he drew the head different here. I feel like And he's always got this snout, which is kind of interesting. Shapes there, the mouth shapes there. Let's see, now the eyes on this one are closer to the mouth. Whereas if you had kept them up a little bit better here, then on this side's not too bad. But if we kept them up a little bit better on that side, then we have more room for that. What else is happening there that's kind of cool is, yeah, this snout, that white shape's going to end. I like how it was ending under the eye here, and then it makes this angular turn up and goes down. This is funny. I like this tongue. I think I would have drawn it a little more that way. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Dripping out of the mouth more that way. And that's kind of fun. And make sure you do give it some kind of color this in. And hit it with a little burp. Burp. Feels good. Let's see, those things are acting different on all the drawings too. Like it how it follow that. They're just ending inside the white line there. Make sure that they're all, yeah, okay. So we're getting somewhere with this. He's got that. Yeah, some really good drawings. And then for these, I'd draw something that makes sure you have be able to draw all that on there. And let's see what happens with the shape. It's just getting longer. But it's there, and then we draw the tail off of there. So I like that the tail's like back there, but it's yeah, they elongated this, which was kind of nice. I think I would actually just to be able to like get it. Make sure that that's in perspective, I think. And then I start the fin here. I don't want it to be too big. Maybe something like that to give a nice silhouette. The little marks up it. That's cool. Yeah, look what they did here. They didn't like keep that. I guess you could do that. It's kind of weird, but whatever works. And I like they make the paws feel like hands, but it's probably still from an animation perspective, like drawing it out like that. Snout, nose. That way, maybe give them a little bit of that so you feel that. These aren't, these are lightning bolts, but it's good just to maybe the things in there somewhere. Dog tag, or whatever. All right, so I think I'm getting the hang of it. Let's see what happens. Got the head. Draw the body a little bit bigger. And that. I don't know what we're getting at here, but maybe something like that. And then I think I can stick with that. And this. I just need to make sure that eyeballs are. Maybe that's part of the problem. I'm going to crazy with that. Now I've got room for the collar right there. And then the collar right there. And then room for the maybe not that, but what would this be? Maybe he would be it's kind of a nice way to do that, draw a little mitten. Do that. Mitten. And then maybe this one's like over here. Doing that. And then we have that. Does that work? So this. that. And then there. Make him too fat, maybe. But maybe not. And then plug that in. Plug that in. And then do that sort of thing. Kind of looks Jeffy-ish. I don't know. And that comes around there. And he does that. Pops there. And I wonder if you can get away with something like just doing that. Amplify that shape a little bit. Like especially if he's traveling. Like that. Put a tip on. Do that. Maybe. Definitely feels pretty like hefty, but it also feels kind of right in a way. So I don't know. Bubbles come off of it. Something. Yeah, that's kind of cool. All right, I think I'm getting the hang of him. Let's draw his head. Come out a little bit on each side. Make sure. Let's see. So that's one thing I need to make sure is like that is. All right. So that. Times on. And there's some kind of triangle there that we can use. Make his eyes too close together, maybe. Huh? Can I draw that now? Like, where does it fall inside the circle? Okay. What happens if I do that? Oh. Can do something like that. Look at that. Gotta make room. Oops. Collar for little thing where it attaches, and then God damn it. What happens here? See, this has two football shaped in it. God damn it. What the hell do I gotta do here? It's not far off. I just need to give him a little more chin there, I think. And then it'll be good. Stop blocking. I'm just kind of trying to make this work, and then get the football shape there. And too close together there. It's kind of like, oh. And then what happens here when you see him from the front? I don't know. Walrusy. Mm. Kind of like fins off to the side. No, these need to be further down. Do they? Really? Just drawing it too fat or something. Maybe. Skinnier? I don't know. Let's do a bit then. But I think even there, then how do you keep the tail interesting from there? So I think maybe like that. Maybe that's one way to do it. And then gotta make his arms nice and fat. Getting there. And maybe his eyes aren't. Are they close enough? Too. Are they too close? Could be. Oh, that's not bad. Let's go ahead and make that. I'm gonna give him some kind of cheeky thing going on there. Color's way too thick. However, that doesn't bother me that much. It needs to be more here, I think. Here. And then keep his cheeks high and I think we should do that instead of having it go all the way. Yeah. Okay. Getting better and better with time. So do that and then have that. And then this come off. There and be back there. That's not too bad. I'm wondering how they put him in a tropical shirt. This doesn't need to be there. This is instruction lines at that point, and I don't know. Maybe does it need to be wide like that? I don't know. Maybe that's more. There. Anywho, all right, so that's cool. So we'll just keep at it. I don't know. He's feeling a little weird there. It feels weird there. Let's do the little flippy on him. Edit, transform, flip horizontal. And now you can see how control how screwy that is. A little out of whack. So let's see if we can straighten that up a bit. Whole head, this whole head up top needs to come back into the body a little bit. I think. Try to figure out how to correct this. Let's come back there. D, and then this needs to be more here. Just gotta balance that shape out a little bit. And then better mouth shape for that. 6. And that's a little better, I think. That and now I flip that back the other way. Transform, flip horizontal. Feel a lot better. It's always a good trick. Everybody uses it, and there's a reason. Anybody did that. It feels pretty good. I wonder if you like actually put Gwenpool. You had her leg like that. And then something like that. What would she be? Or maybe, how would she be? Maybe more here. She's obviously not on the. Perfect on the back of them, but let's see here. Maybe looking down. Her hair is a little too. Backpack on. And around. Maybe Just doing that number. She's got her tops there, her gun thing there. And belt on. Some people drawing that on her. What else do we have? It goes, and then you can just put her mask like a hood. Or what if we went ahead and just drew? I wonder if she could have like, I wonder if the Deadpool eyes with the hair would work. Like it was coming out of the back of a like it was coming out of the back of a bandana or something. Yeah, that's kind of fun. And then thing. Since she is too far over there, but I love the idea of that. And then also looking up at her, which is nice. So I wonder if there's a way. Dang it. Here we go. Let's see if I can move her over. Control X, Control E. Maybe. Maybe. Alright. I probably have to get rid of her. Like withdraw. But if you have to get rid of it, you have to get rid of it. Maybe what you do that is maybe that's kind of a cool idea to do. Need to go up higher, more. That, and then like that, maybe. And me, and then. Kind of like it before, where it was like she was crossing her legs. I just do that instead too. And that, and then that. That feels pretty good actually. Got the two swords back there. Maybe a better angle though, so that you can see the one on this side. Something like that. How long have I been doing this tonight? 141. Oof. That's super fun, actually. Kind of digging on that. So I've either got that Or we got this one. I like that one too. Kind of think maybe there might be one more option here somewhere. Let's try. I wonder if there is one where he's running that way. And then we do kind of oops. There's something where it's always important to see far. And then let's see. That's where the collar is. We have the snout is right here. I'm going to draw that. Draw something like that. And then on that, get better at super crazy. Too much garbage going on there. And then let's keep that. His mouth is going to screw this up pretty bad. Because he needs to go more like that. But I think the problem with that is, yeah. I got too many lines. I can't see what I need to be doing here. That sort of thing. And then go ahead and do that. And then that. That feels pretty good. I'll put that in perspective maybe. And then that's going to go over there. Make the football shape. Just make sure when you make the football shape there. And then work enough of a body, or do I need more? Oh, oh sometimes some of the people aren't drawing much of jack with that. This guy faked it by doing that. Everyone's kind of the same kind of issue, it looks like, is how much body do you give him? And, you know, let's see, that's going there. So suppose we go here and then this comes over here. Put this in here. Put mittens on first. Just kind of hint at it there. And then let's do this real quick. Do that and then that. Get a little of that in there. That's cool. And then, that's on. This needs to be far back enough that collar really needs to be back like that. Feels a little better. So let's do that. I think a lot of that's choice too, but I like putting the two little lines right there to let me know he's got a little bit of a puppy dog snout. This goes down that way. You want it below where that break in the collar is right there, so that when you draw these things, they follow that shape and you can fit three of them in. That's what I think, at least. And wow, I could totally do something like that. That's pretty cool. And then I wonder, have Gwen writing on him here. Where would she be? I don't know. Riding it like a Atreyu. So something like that, or it should be a little bit smaller. Maybe a little bit more like that sized. Yeah. So what was fun about this one over here? Yeah, I like how much he's leaned. That's pretty cool. This one he's kind of leaned to the other way. Oh, I gave him a giant head on this one. This might be too much, damn it. Yeah, it starts feeling a little bit too much now. Maybe it felt better before when he had that. Maybe it didn't need to be that wide. I gotta get some of his body back is what I'm trying to do here. I can keep that. Yeah, it feels better. Give him a little more cheek. Feels better too. Yeah. Oh, it feels better. I thought I was gonna get through more tonight, but getting tired. He looks like a baby shark because of how small I made his body. That stuff. Shoot. So what is that? What do I need to do here? Let's see. Does that kind of thing work? The best way to do this quickly. He needs to have his little paws in there. And needs to have that. Oh, gracious. I don't know. something like that. I don't know. Does he always have to have that? But he does because he's got this stupid necklace. But it's gonna have to be like that, and then like that. So one or two if I really like that one. That might be the one I end up drawing, cleaning up. But yeah, the part of that is like, I just want to keep drawing it just to get used to it. I wonder if I draw something perspective wise more crazy. Yeah, let's do something up. And then draw something upwards or downwards, or what happens here? Eyes are the main focus, and oh, oh yeah, you. Hey, you getting tired? Bottom just needs to be substantial enough. Hmm. What does it look like when he's walking? Something like that. Struggling a little bit with that part there, but the angle down that they have drawn is crazy. It's making them look like that. And the tail goes lower. I had it. That's what I need to do. So that's one thing I could really use to do is do a turnaround of them. That would be pretty damn helpful. As I think These guys are here. Here. Oh no. So what I'm thinking I need to do is take this guy right here. All right, let's move this one here. It's going to take me a little bit to figure out how to. Oh shit. Okay. Let's draw this guy over there. And let's do this. We'll go that way. Oops. And this way. And this. Oops. Shoot. Do that on the same layer. That and this. This. And I think that's all I really need. And let's see. So if I draw. Mouse comes there. Let's do center line sort of thing. All right, so that's cool. And then this thing here. That didn't work. There it is. So I want to do this thing here. My eyes are gonna go. There somewhere. Nose. Make sure we do that. And we have this, this, and that, this, and that, and then down pretty far. That's fine and all, but now does that come out farther or wider? I don't think so. Not too much. It needs to come out down here. And then I feel like it needs to do that kind of shape. Keep it. Maybe it is wider than him. I know I need that anyway. too big. Shape. No. Okay, let's try to draw through it and see what happens. Y points right here. Here. So let me draw the stuff. All right, so now so maybe something like that. That's how it feels from the front. Need to be wider so that feet legs can attach a little better. Is that right? So and then collar comes down a little bit further from it. These come out and then down and then down. It's here. And then something like that. Something like that. And then these come out. Like that. And then you have this. So it's not too far off, maybe. Or does he need to be taller? I don't know. Could be. The arms are kind of stumpy there, aren't they? He's gonna come. They're right here. So I wonder if I could take that whole shape here and narrow it a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, that's actually really nice right there. This head is kind of huge. But yeah, I don't know. The main part here too is keeping that. Another thing, yeah, I'm not doing. It's keeping that open. Let's keep that there. And then maybe we just don't need to draw. I feel better now. Pulling them in a little bit. That felt a lot better. This is stuff that you need to do, I guess, to really get consistent with it. And then, yeah, that adds so much. Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool. The more you know. I wonder if there's a way to start drawing them like that. And that goes into the neck. Let's probably a little further down now to give him some room. And then it doesn't need to be that wide, does it? And then, yeah, I don't know. more belly to it. And then I have that, that, that. Boop, boop. There we go. It's getting better every time, I think. Yeah, sure. That's pretty cool. Something like that. More mouth shapes now. And then I want to make sure these are the same kind of distance from each other. Draw the mittens on there, and then you can draw this other things later. I think. God dang it. just think I'm drawing them too big. Drawing them way too big. Looks like a freaking manatee instead of a shark. Mm. And then kind of like an alligator, I think. Doing that. Something like that. Maybe that doesn't give him enough snout or whatever, but yeah, the mouth a little further down, maybe. God dang. Yeah, I don't know. Is it too fat? I don't know. Seems like maybe it is. There's another case where you can draw them all crazy cute. And then draw a tiny, tiny fish body. Really hard to want to draw him facing down. I need to do that more, maybe. I have this kind of thing going on. What happens here? This is kind of That's not too bad. I don't know. This is just too much right here. Too much body form. I don't mind that too much, but takes away the cute aspect of it. And I think that feels better. And maybe do something like that. Doing something like that. And then this comes off of there. And then we can get rid of that to make it feel more sharpy. And then I think that till two. There we go. That feels good. And then maybe the sides more. There. Something like that. I don't know. Not even like too far up there. Perhaps maybe it comes down from there. There we go. Feels a little bit better even. And widen that one. This is a lot of making it try to feel like you're making it feel right just by juggling everything. That's just how it's gonna have to be with this guy for me for now until I really get used to it. But he's one worth, I feel like, worth knowing how to draw regularly. Now I can do all that. Got that white on the bottom. Chip. Get used to drawing it, I think. I'd like to get used to drawing it more. And how does this work? Sort of thing. And then, does that work? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I get the collar on. The collar's throwing me off. This is what I know. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe closer here. Well, all right. I think I have drawn enough of what I can draw tonight. Keep drawing this dude. Maybe tomorrow I'll actually draw this thing for real. Away. Two. It's actually, wolf, it's almost 3 o'clock. Crap, I did not want to do that today. Alas, here I am, doing it again. All right, well, that's going to cover it for tonight then. Oops. And then I'm going to go ahead and say Control Save. And so now I've got two options of what I want to draw for him. Got this one and the other one. This is a little different than I've been doing it the other. Go ahead and like let's see if I use Control Copy. File new. Oh, nice. It does do that. That's cool. And I can try to figure this one out. And V, V. So I like those. And then there's another option where yeah, she's falling like that. And then I think yeah, I've sketched a lot more the last couple nights with this one. Yeah, keep that one. Control A. Oops. Control copy. Control V. Oops. Put it on this page right here. Keep all the stuff I kind of want to continue on with on the same page. Well, let's kind of keep these together. Copy. Well, I already have these somewhere, but I like that version of her. Put that here. I'll try that a different way tomorrow. Right now, kind of want to see what happens if I think that feels pretty cool with her doing that, having her hair flail out like that. In which case she doesn't need that. On. Her hair needs to be super messy, but I can figure something out based on that. I really like. Yeah, this thing. Dang on it. Maybe that's all he needs. What is that? Now, what is that? That's wrong. this. And do that for them, and then that, that's cool. So I think I have two pretty good options I like here. And this is just too much for the arms. It needs to be more shorter and stockier. And then it's one of those things I'm gonna have to figure out. I really like that one though. That's super cool. And then this one, I think the biggest issue that I'm having with this one is just that it needs to have more. Have more of a snout feeling by doing that. And then more cheek. I think that's more feeling like him. Especially if it's like here. Yeah, feels better already. And then maybe even a little lip there. That feels pretty cool. And then comes in this hand here. And I'm wondering if have fun. He looks like a mouse. Anyway, I think I can get into both of these. Kind of cool. But I think tomorrow is gonna have to be the day to do that. Not tonight. And I gotta figure out what kind of like background to do. Or is it water splashes? Mm. Nah, dang nabbit. Like that. Oops. This is the problem with starting drawing really late at night is I don't like to stop. These could be cool. And then the other thing, darn man, I do this before. I already got this drawing on another page, but because of that, I'm gonna do this. I kind of like the idea of doing that with her. Dang it. I'm gonna do dinner tonight for this mess. So, on that note. That's one option. Anyway, all right. I have stopped talking and I have got to go to bed. So, good night for now. Part 3 tomorrow.